So I made the decision to go to Justice Scalia's memorial today at the Supreme Court building. It's not his funeral. His funeral is actually tomorrow at the Basilica of the Immaculate Conception. But tomorrow is today is his memorial service. And it just seems like the right thing to do. I'm 43. He was on the court for about 30 years, so that's 70% of my life. He sat on the highest court in the land, doing a lot of things I didn't agree with a lot of views on things like guns and abortion and gay rights and a host of other things that I didn't agree with. But it's not about agreeing all the time. It's just about being respectful of who he was, and he was a great mind. Not that I like the way he used his mind all the time, but he had a great mind, and it's not about agreeing. We're all equal in death, and that's where he is now. I don't care if you're a liberal or a conservative. We're all part of this thing called life, and nobody gets out of the motherfucker alive. Nobody. So I'm ready to go today and just pay my final respects to the great Justice Antonin Scalia. So come join.
And here is the train at the metro station. This is the train that is going to take me down to the Supreme Court building. Well, not exactly. I have a little bit of a walk once I get there. Open up, you motherfucker.
Step back to allow customers to exit. When boarding, please move to the center of the car.
A typical day on a Washington Metro train. And here we are at the Capitol South Metro Station. We're about 3 or 4 blocks from the Supreme Court building. One of DC's many long escalator rides up out of the depths of the District of Columbia onto the street level. I'm usually a lazy ass and I just take the elevator, but I'm gonna take the escalator today. Stay out of people's way here. They're trying to get by me. All right, we're out of the subway station. There's doggies. Hello, doggies. Hey, sweetie. And there, of course, is the United States Capitol building. And God only knows when the scaffolding is going to come down. I don't think it's going to be until next year. The architect of the Capitol, his website, said that it's probably going to be in 2017 sometime that the scaffolding will come down. And I guess the dome is not going to fall on us. Here we are at the Library of Congress with some pretty bitchin' sculpture work. Really cool. And these were not on Aesop's fables. Those are the ones in Birmingham. The ones in Birmingham were based on Aesop's fables. And I'm gonna have to do some research to find out where these came from. The turtles and the merman with the conch shell and the broad that's on the horse choking it. Good stuff. Good stuff. The history of our country. So as you can see, there are no leaves on any trees in Washington today. We are on the verge of getting to the Supreme Court building. There's the Supreme Court building straight ahead of us. See a little more of the relief work on the building for the Library of Congress. That's all right. And here we are outside the Supreme Court building. Flags at half staff, obviously. Actually, all the flags at government buildings are half-mast in Washington. And as you can see, there is a crowd, and the line just keeps going and going and going and going. A lot of people out here to pay their respects to Justice Scalia. I don't know if they're all conservative. I doubt they're all conservatives. A lot of people probably are just like I am. It's like, hey, this guy was an icon for 30 years. And, here's an opportunity to go into the Supreme Court Hall and say goodbye to him. So you can see he has attracted quite a following.
Build up all this calorie reserve.
And media. Lots of media here today. And we've moved up a lot in the line. We were way back there not very long ago. So the line's moving at a pretty decent clip. It's not as horrible as it appears to be. Again, there's another nice shot of the Supreme Court building. And here we are walking across the big promenade of the court. This is what we were directed to stop and now go. So here we're sort of in the last line before we actually get into the Supreme Court building. Okay, so here we are about to actually go in the building. I'm going to have to be kind of discreet with the camera or shut it off entirely so I don't look like a gawker. There's a spray from the United States Senate. There's a spray from West Point. And here we are, back to where we started. So we're going to start the journey home. Good day overall. I'm glad I did this. This was kind of cool. Now I got to kind of put everything together for the video. Kind of a small part of history. Got my little thing here in memory of Justice Scalia. So I will. I'll do some pictures or something of that later on. You can read it later. All right. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. Down into the abyss. Alright, and that was that. So here I am at the top of the Supreme Court steps now. There is the United States Capitol right across from the U.S. Supreme Court. And we'll now come down the steps. See if I can film this and not fall down these, however many steps there are. I don't know if there's any significance to how many steps there are or not. Probably isn't. But everybody thinks there's a great story in Washington to everything. Did you know there are X number of steps in this building because of this? Half the time it's bullshit. There's no significance to half the stuff in Washington, but people like to believe it's true.